Hello and welcome to our monthly Bitcoin technical analysis video. Today what we'll be doing is taking a closer look at the Bitcoin market and a look at Bitcoin's price actions, having a look at some of the patterns that are presenting at the moment, where we think we will be heading and what we need to look out for in the coming months. So first, let's have a look at the current state of Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. As you might know, Bitcoin has been on a bit of a roller coaster ride over the past few months. After hitting an all-time high of 69,000 in November 2021, the future of Bitcoin has been on a bit of a decline. However, there are still plenty of reasons to be optimistic about the future of Bitcoin. So let's dive into some technical analysis. One of the first things we'll look at is a full picture of Bitcoin and place our Fibonacci retracement on the chart to see where we are in the grand scheme of things. So as it currently stands, we see price has rejected here out of a very powerful level in the 78.6 and the 88.6% level. We'll box that up now. And we've had a really strong rejection out of that area. As you can see, over the last 5 or 6 weeks, we've seen nothing but bullish action. So as it currently stands, we've done a big retracement into that level. And this could be where Bitcoin turns around and starts its bull run to head back upwards again. But if we drop that down now to a daily time frame, we'll have a look at exactly where we are for now. So we can see that Bitcoin came from the top all the way down and rejected right off that level with a really small wick, before then consolidating in this area and then proceeding to drop further into the area again, and consolidated further here with some really small daily candles before we eventually did get that high push up with quite a few days of bullish activity and back into the area where we are now. But where are we now? So what I'm interested to see is, where are we rejecting from right now in this area? We see a few high wicks, a few wicks rejecting some kind of area, so we need to find out what that is. So we'll take our Fibonacci tool once again, and you'll see that we are in another really strong Fibonacci zone between the 50% and the 61.8% area. So what we'll do is we'll box that up, and you can see we had a touch off the area here before a slight drop and then a power back into the area where it seems to be that the buyers are struggling slightly. We also have to be mindful here of the 78.6 and the 88.6% zone. If we do manage to break this 50% area, we're likely to come into more resistance as we travel a little bit further up. So we'll box that area out. So looking at that, we've got a really strong idea of what we might expect Bitcoin to do over the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, month. We don't know where it's going to stop, we don't know where it's going to go. But looking at this chart, I can see that we are facing some serious resistance over here. We do, however, have quite a lot of bullish news that is coming out for the crypto market as a whole. That may see us pump straight through this zone and find some resistance back up here. And if we were to put on a trend-based fib extension to this move that we're currently seeing from the low and look for a 3-leg pullback, you can see that that area where we're looking to pull back from is banging that 78.6, 88.6% zone. So what we could potentially see is price power up from here into the area and then tap into that zone around the $30,168 mark, and then see another pullback straight down to this area. But that's where we are in the grand scheme of things. We've rejected from a very large 78.6, 88.6% zone. We have been in this area for quite a number of months now. We are starting to get some price action taking us out of that zone, but now we've got further zones to be slightly mindful of. And failing these areas, it's worth looking at where we could reject from going forward. So if we take another Fibonacci from the high up here to the low, as this was our last major high, down to this low, we'll be able to see if we've got any more areas that we should be truly mindful of. So back we go down here. I can get rid of this fib here because we've marked that one out already. Now this is an interesting one. The 50%, 61.8% zone also falls within that 3-leg pullback. So if we'll mark that one out here. Now this is a much larger zone because it's from a much larger move. So we don't know how powerful that will be, but as you go for the larger moves and on the higher time frames, you do tend to find that those friction zones are a lot more powerful than they are on the smaller time frames and the smaller moves. So it could be that we see a power through this 50% 618 zone that we are in currently, a power through the 78.6 that we will be at the bottom of that 3-leg pullback and into this 50% 618% area. That might be something that we've got to look out for as well over the next few weeks. And that's all made possible because we've made our high, we've broken low and taken out this previous low here, managed to pull back slightly and then break low again, creating a new lower low versus this low. And we've also broken this low over here, and then following that we went back down to create another low, which didn't quite break this previous low here, but we did see some price action here which took us down lower than this previous low here. So there is still potential for us to drop a little bit lower. We don't know where the exact bottom is. We don't know if we've had the bottom. Was the bottom truly here at $15,000? We don't know, and no one will be able to tell you that with any accuracy. Personally, I think that we're going to drop a little bit lower. I don't think the bull run is quite here yet. I think this year is going to be a year of downward action and quite a lot of sideways price action as well. I think that with the current state of play and the zones that we've got coming up, we're going to be seeing some sort of relief rally, which will kind of take us a little bit higher, giving us a bit of false hope and then dropping us right back down. That's my personal opinion. It's not fact. I'm not a financial advisor, so don't take my word for it. We could well power straight up out of this area and go straight to a new all-time high, or we could equally go straight back down and create a new low. So we've got a lot of stuff to look out for then in the next few weeks, and what we'll do is we'll be back in a few weeks time where we'll have a look at how the price chart is progressing, where price is in the next 3 or 4 weeks, and if there are any new zones and any new updates to the analysis that we need to do to give us a better picture of what we should expect going forward. So overall, while there are definitely some zones of resistance to be aware of, I think that there's a lot of potential for Bitcoin in the future. By keeping an eye on these key areas, you can make some informed trading decisions and potentially profit from Bitcoin's long-term price action. Because long-term, Bitcoin is very likely to go higher and it is likely to create a brand new all-time high. The problem is, that might not be the time right now. We will have to be very patient. Patience pays in this market. You can't rush the process and you can't force Bitcoin to go higher. You can't force profits. You can't force any type of gains. You just have to sit on your hands, wait for the right moment where you think it's the right time. Wait for the moments and the right times for you to re-enter the market, whether that's now as we're seeing some kind of upward action, or whether that's later on if we do manage to get another drop. The choice is yours. Make an informed decision, don't rush the process, and be prepared to hold your trade. Bitcoin will not make you rich overnight. It will be a slow grind. You might not have to do a lot of work with it, but you will have to be patient and be very wary of that. So that's all for this month's Bitcoin technical analysis. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel for more, and be sure to join us again next month for more insights and updates where we'll have a look at the latest Bitcoin price action and what we should be mindful in the coming weeks and months. If you want me to analyze another cryptocurrency, let me know in the comments below and I'll be sure to analyze the most demanded cryptos. Until then, we'll see you next time for the next month's forecast in a few weeks' time.